It's also not in Mail, it's in Friends. Anyway, we're now live on YouTube for the final race of the season. We've missed a weekend because of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're back. We're live on YouTube. We've got the co-commentator here who's probably doing something or other, getting into the lobby. I don't know what he's doing. We've got 9 drivers here who are hopefully going to finish the race. I don't know. It's their choice. Maybe some drivers don't have the choice to finish this race, but I don't control that. They have their own will. Joe in the Discord has just said... Joe Yo in the Discord has just said, hello YouTube. You can't see it because I'm not showing you. He's saying the Ferraris are going to commit terrorist acts in Brazil. Essentially. We've got the lobby here. I need to warn you all. We're immediately stopping qualifying because we have a reverse grid. Because the owner of the league, which isn't me, surprisingly, wants to have a reverse grid. Everyone, you can now ready up. Let's get into this qualifying. And yes, it is a short qualifying because we want our sanity. And so do you guys also want your soft tyres. Bartek, we're just doing the qualifying and then we're flipping the results, bud. Don't worry. Anyway, in other news, I'm back from Hungary and I have a ton of F1 driver cards, and I'm happy about it.
You weren't aware of this because of the fact that obviously you were in a different country. But every time the camera went past your stand, I was like, oh!
And this is my co-commentator that I'm stuck with permanently.
Permanently?
I don't know, I'm bored. Anyway, I've got a very
well,
rare...
I'm glad.
I've got a very rare F1 card from the F1 24 Turbo Attacks official Formula 1 trading cards, Year 5 editions. It's the Daniel Ricciardo card, which is signed. It's got his signature in it. It's gold and it's shiny. Anyway, we've currently got a driver who's doing an act which I will not see on YouTube due to the fact this stream would get taken down. So keep an eye on Thermiter. He may be doing some tomfoolery, whether he likes it or not. Anyway.
He might not be in the best faculties for this race.
He decided he was going to speak to Jesus instead of drinking water, but hey ho.
he's drinking the blood of Jesus. Let's put it like that.
Smart ones will understand what I mean. And if you're not smart, ask the people in chat. I assume there's other people in chat. If there's not, I don't know. Good luck to you. Anyway, it's been a long while since we've had quite a varied mix of drivers in the field. As we can see, we've got, what is that? 7 teams represented by 9 different drivers here. I know their maths doesn't add up, but you have eyes, I think, unless you're blind or deaf. I don't know why I said deaf. I'm just not feeling straight.
It's been a long week, and it's on the Monday.
It's been a very long week. I've only just come back from Hungary, basically. I say only.
I get to use that. I'm gonna use. Yeah, don't worry. I'm only gonna use that once. Don't worry. You'll be able to keep your catchphrase. Yeah, exactly. If I didn't let you keep your quote, you'd kill me.
I would. But then I'd be stuck with solo commentary forever, which I don't think everyone wouldn't mind, but it takes a toll. Anyway, we've got the Mercedes
I don't know
on the mediums.
I don't know how much the viewers appreciate my inane rambling sometimes, but I mean, I hope they.
For inane rambling, we've got a slow for the Ferrari of Joe. That's just so he can let those ahead of him past, or behind him past. Sorry. People giving space to each other. We see Kian is going to be the first man to set a valid lap this qualifying as he goes very deep into.
Oh, have we explained what the results of this qualifying will be?
I did say it briefly. Essentially, we're doing a reverse grid race for the final round of the season, just to spice everything up a tiny bit. We know it will just go back to basically what happened in the race anyway. The results will be pretty much the same as what you'd expect from a normal race. We just did it because the owner wanted to. No, I'm not the owner. I'm just the commentator who's here because I'm slow.
I'm a friend of the owner, but that does not mean anything. I cannot convince him to not do stupid things.
I'm the only person in this VC right now as admin who can do something, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway, you may realize James is not here. That is because he's been temporarily suspended from driving permanently due to saying racisms. Moving along.
Temporarily, permanently.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. No one should question it for
He's
now.
been banned. He's not coming back.
It's like the Luxy situation. Instead of constantly being annoying, it's racism, which we take a lot more severely. Anyway, we see Kian here
Yeah.
sets the fastest lap. Who would have guessed he's the first man to set a lap? And then Joe beats it
I mean,
by a storming amount.
by about 7/10 of a second,
I
yeah.
think Team has just been involved in an issue, as we see Scythe with a huge crash. We've just missed it, but he is starting from the back. Oh yeah, we've also got points for the normal top 3. Scythe, did
Yeah,
you
just
get a clip?
basically.
Yeah, Scythe, did you get a clip? Tame, did you get a
base-
clip?
Yeah,
Quite important,
Yes.
because apparently one of them is DNF from this.
the thing is the reason why we're like, oh yeah, the normal top 3 gets clear so people don't have an incentive to crash out.
Yeah.
Like self-sabotage, they don't, so they get a better position for the race itself. We're going more carrot than stick.
I've just seen the Williams of Nick go massively off the road and lose his front wing.
Indeed.
I don't know what he's trying to do. But
Chaos. I'll tell you what he's trying to do. A crime.
We've also got the Mercedes of Kian running off the track to let those pass through on a faster lap. As it stands, we're waiting for some clips so the FIA can FIA Bartek, because apparently he's been involved in some incidents already, which involved Tame and the retired.
The
Scythe.
FIA can FIA.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, due to Scythe not actually setting a time, we can't actually give him pole.
I love
not set
I love
a time,
FIAing.
which is slightly unfortunate, but yeah. I believe Tame is trying to set a reverse pole lap, or sorry, reverse rear row lap. Is that right? Yes, it is.
You are slightly cut.
Yeah, I'm losing
Out,
it.
by the way.
Yeah, I'm
Just so
aware.
you're aware.
It's in the Discord call. It's not in the stream. We should be fine.
How was Hungary, by the way?
Hot. I got sunburn. Not good, but yeah, that's about it. There were cars on the track. Fun fact: the Porsches.
Suppose you got sunburnt.
It was on the Friday. The track temperature was 58 degrees.
Yeah, I was about to say the rest of the time it was raining.
Yeah, or drizzly. The race it wasn't raining, but there was cloud. Anyway, the Porsche Carrera Cups, the GT Cups cars, are the loudest cars there. As Thermiter goes second fastest. I should say slowest. Thermiter, if you could send the stream link, that'd be very nice. You can't turn right, Nick. Maybe it's because you drove a lap on the Inters without a front wing.
Maybe because you decided to do something incredibly stupid.
Scythe, what do you mean?
Who knows?
What's your medal account, Scythe? I assume that's what you're using. It not upload.
Stupid games win stupid prizes, you know? Anyway, currently Thermiter is in the front with a 109 point... Pardon?
At the back, remember, it's reverse grid.
Well, front of Q1, because we are going through 3 qualifying sessions.
No, we're not.
We'll invert it. Oh, are we only doing 1?
Yeah, because there's 9 people.
Oh, right.
The only way we would
Thermiter...
possibly even have the 3 is if there's, 15 people. That's only if we get 15. Anyway, RJ's just gone purple in the middle sector.
Anyway, currently, Thermiter will be starting from the back.
Confusing.
If no one dethrones him.
RJ's doing a pretty decent lap. Could we see him joining him on the back row? Yes, we can! Oh my days, I'm so happy I signed him for next season.
Oh yeah, you're a team owner, aren't
I'm
you?
a team owner as well. Some of you may not know this, but I own the Williams team, which Nick is driving in right now. And I've signed RJ and I've signed Joe.
At some point, I should own a team.
Yeah, you might be able to grab one now. There's a few team spots open.
What teams are open actually?
I don't actually know, but this is good advertisement for the server. As you can see,
we're
promoting new teams joining because some of them have chosen they don't want to continue racing. My team has, Gaggle's team has, the McLaren team. As well as this, you've got Thermite's team.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams can't continue in F124. Owners don't have the game because either they just don't want to buy it because they want to wait for it to come on Xbox Game Pass. That'll happen next year. So I don't know why they're still here, but you know. Or they just can't be asked. Yes, I am pointing.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not overly thrilled with the idea. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not overly thrilled at having to buy another game just for the sake of commentating.
Yeah, own a team driving it, sure. RJ coming back in the pit lane here. We're gonna ride. Is this the right onboard camera?
Was that? Did you say was that towards Bartek?
Yeah, the thing I said about the team was Bartek, or the games.
Yeah,
was about Bartek.
I was
because
I was
someone is waiting for them to come out on a game. On the game.
Yeah, I was saying specifically that I would literally be buying the game just for the sake of being able to commentate, which feels.
I've forgotten how I changed my camera in the spectate mode.
You press RB. All right.
No, I mean like the actual onboard camera.
Press up. Yeah. Okay.
No. As in, I've got it set to one thing. I want it to a different thing. Not like. It's hard to explain. I've got my racing camera on the T-cam of the cars, but I don't want it to be my racing camera because you can barely see anything.
Do you want broadcast or do you want like TV pod?
I want to change the TV pod to not be TV pod, if you get what I mean. But I don't know where the hell that is.
There's two options. There's TV pod and broadcast.
Yeah, no,
which is onboard or cinematic.
No, the camera I use for the T-cam on the car, I don't want it to be that one. I want it to change it to a different onboard camera from the settings. Oh,
yeah, no idea. I don't think you can do that.
It's annoying. Joe's got a special helmet anyway, but I can't show you it because the camera won't let me. If you look in his cockpit, you'll probably see it. That's what it is. Right, let's have a look at incident reports. I suggest you have a look as well, please.
Yep, will do.
You see Joe going massively wide there. I think he's done with his lap already. We won't show this. We won't show this incident yet on stream, due to the fact it's still FIA footage. FIA still need to deliberate a decision. Bless you.
Sorry, I'm allergic to incidents.
Yet he's the
so
FIA.
You know. Oh no. The reason why I'm allergic to incidents is so that it's so that it encourages them to do as few incidents as possible.
I see.
You know, they wouldn't want to make me sneeze too much.
Right. I see the issue. No, it's not it, but I see the issue.
No, I'm not.
Tame, you've clipped the right part, but also the wrong part, because this doesn't help. It doesn't help Scythe exactly, but. I'd assume I assume what happened.
It doesn't help Scythe, but it does show other stuff.
It does show that Bartek probably is not keeping that pole. Reverse grid pole, and unfortunately Scythe would be starting from the back because, again, he's not actually set a valid time.
Oh, there's Scythe.
Oh, Scythe has sent his POV. Let's have a look. I see.
Okay, I'm just gonna be. Can I just be frank and say something outright?
Say this now.
Bartek, chill your hell out, or you won't re-racing. And that's as much as I'm gonna say at this point. Further investigation is pending. But just know that we have our eye on you, Bartek.
We've already, the FAA are, I need the FAA to confirm something quickly, please. Thank you. For the penalty, which is currently pending. Yeah, we've got a penalty currently pending, which will be announced at the end of qualifying, just to leave everyone in suspense.
Oh yeah, we love that suspense.
It's what the FAA do. They take several laps to give a penalty out. Anyway, we're gonna ride on board with the American.
I don't know. I think we're still a better FIA than the real one.
Oh yeah, we pretty much do it the same lap, but it takes us a lap to then announce it, which it's what they should be doing. Anyway, watching Harris here as he goes through the center S's down the back straight towards the turn 4, a very awkward corner to take. A very, very difficult corner to take if you do it wrong. It's very demanding where you take it on the curb, as we've seen Verstappen and Hamilton before. Through turn 5, a nothing curve, then up into turn 6, a blind corner, you can't see over it. Up through 7, here we go, in towards turn 8, the first of the several hairpins. And then in and around turn 9, a dual apex hairpin. You're going to try kiss the inside of it or stay wide. Then up into, I think this is turn 9, it should be, if I'm counting correctly. Then around the approach into turn 10, a very fast sweeper before the final braking zone of the track, turn 11. And then you've got 12 and 13. He's up in the middle sector, the American. Not the purple lap, but he's up in the middle sector. What can he do here? Through turn 12. Through into turn 13 before the pit lane. To the line. Can he improve on his position? Yes, he can by 1 place. Kian moving down to the provisional front row as it stands. Can Tame do his magic from the back? Anyway, we have 1 man out on track. That would be the man who's probably not going to get pole position of Bartek here, trying to do a lap on the mediums. No one really needs to scrub them up due to the fact we're restarting the lobby anyway. He comes into the pit lane. I think he's just realised that. We've got those coming out to try and get one last push to be on the back row. And I think the FIA, I've just disconnected from the VC, I've realised, so we'll quickly cut off here so I can rejoin the VC. It is taking a sweet moment. GG's.
Okay, one moment. I was like trying to see what was happening there.
And we're back.
Yep, there you are. I was just about to ping you.
Yeah, I realised. I looked in the Discord.
But I was like giving it a moment because like you were like really silent, but I could still see you in the chat. So I was just giving it a moment, and then you vanished. I was just about to ping you, and then you came back.
Sector. I think it was just letting Tame through. Bartek has just said my bad in response to the 2 incidents he's been involved in.
I don't know if you get to say my bad to those.
I think now would be a good time for you to say what the penalty is, given the fact we've got about a minute to go.
Alright, so Bartek's penalty will be that he will start from the very last of last.
Basically, if anyone else joins,
no matter where he finishes, he will be at the back of the grid.
Yeah.
He's just going to be at the back of literally everyone.
If anyone else joins in the period between the restart and the race, then he's starting behind them, which is how bad this penalty is. Because he took off Tame during his lap, and then he also completely ruined cycle qualifying. We can't do a pit lane start, we can do a to the back start.
Yeah, and it's weird that you can't hand... There should be like an option to just pit lane start people.
Honestly,
I don't know.
As Nick takes the fastest lap of qualifying, which will put him on the back row. I know this is still confusing. We're just as confused as you. Don't worry.
Just roll with it. It'll be a lot simpler in the actual race.
Now the question is, can Kian improve his lap time at all? We don't know what his qualifying pace is like properly. He's not raced in a while. He's been letting his other drivers do it for him. Can he improve his grid position? He is going to be the first man now to take the flag as Tame comes into the pit lane. Kian is going to the line. Is he able to improve? No, he isn't. Kian takes pole at the final round of the season. Now the question is, who's going to be second? Are we going to see the Alpha Tauri take second place? That is the real question here. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to get the P2?
Kinda, for viewers that might have only just joined, the people who are trying to get to the front are doing so, even if they will be starting at the back in the actual race itself, because they will earn points in qualifying for the top 3 positions.
So that way there's a natural instinctive to go for pole.
Yes.
So Nick will earn 3 points from this. Or will he? Yep, everyone's done for qualifying. So the grid is looking. The grid is in, the grid is there, and the 3 points are being handed out. Kian, RJ, and Tame all getting extra points for getting the on-track top 3. Because
this, however, does mean, yes, everyone here will be starting in a flipped position. So that means Scythe will be starting at the very first position.
No, because you didn't actually set a time. It's the slowest time,
oh,
unfortunately. So.
Okay, it's based on time. Okay, so that means TTV rate. Who's
Kian? The grids in
Kian.
general. The grids in general.
Kian.
The grids in general. Don't embarrass yourself.
Kian, yeah. Kian will be starting first, followed by, Bing Magic, and then Joe.
Which is Harris. Bing Magic is Harris.
Yeah. Harris. So the order is Kian, Harris, Joe.
As it stands, RJ has just moved up one place in the championship because of that qualifying. So
Huzzah!
He's moved up.
Don't we already have a champion?
We have a champion.
Don't we already have a champion though? Yeah, I don't think anyone will be able to win the championship back now.
There is still, though, technically a fight for P3. Or P4, I should say. If everyone could just skip through these menus, we're going to retire anyway. Everyone retire off the grid, please. Just spam A. Everyone spam A, please. Or Bartek, you didn't have to leave. We're not leaving, but that works. Everyone, please retire.
Crash.
Crash, retire, funnier. Whatever. This is not the race start. Oh, yep. Half the field's out already. We've got 4 people still alive.
A good crash.
Tame is going backwards. He's planning to get disqualified, which he does so. So the fight. Oh, Kian's out, and that just leaves Harris. Everyone's out. Tame technically is going to win the race.
Woo!
No one wins the race. We all are terrible. Nice race, guys.
No one can race to save their life.
Apparently, when we tell them to retire.
Not a single one of us.
Should we let the Twitch chat decide? Oh, Twitch? We're not streaming on Twitch, we're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Shall we let the YouTube chat decide the weather? Or do we do it up to a random dice roll?
Allow me to roll. To divine.
Right, everyone spam A. Continue to get through these menus, we don't need them. Hurry up.
Okay.
Spam A, lads. Come on, everyone. Okay, I may just have it to random
I have
weather.
rolled.
Harris,
I have
stop.
rolled the
Harris,
weather.
Stop.
I have rolled the weather. Allow me to tell you. We have a wet start to a dry finish.
For the sake of people can't drive in the wet, I'm doing it an inter start to a dry end. So that way we can actually make it through turn 1.
Okay, how about that?
Do we all agree on that? Inters to wets to dries. Shut up, Bartek.
Sorry, what? I didn't. You cut out. I didn't hear
Don't
you.
worry. The majority of the people want the wet, but there's like 3 people that are saying no.
Well, if the majority want the wet, go with the wet.
There's like 6 people that want the rain and 3 people that don't. Bartek doesn't want it. Nick doesn't want it because he doesn't drive this this game anymore, and Thermiter doesn't want it because he wants to win. But it's the rain. Anything can happen in the rain.
It's the majority. The eyes have it. Allow democracy.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do this.
You won't DNF if you drive decently.
Just drive slow.
I know it might be difficult for you.
Just drive slow.
But, you know, maybe if you drive like a normal human being. This is not communism. Also, that is not communism works. Please.
Hold on. I'm just gonna do this vote. We're gonna make this vote go for until there's like 9 votes. If you're not a driver, don't vote. If you're not driving here today, don't vote. Cough, cough. Imperial, remove your vote.
Ah, you mother.
You're not a driver. You can't vote for this, bro. There we go. Hold on.
Boring.
One person.
It's not my.
It's not. One person needs to vote.
It's not. It's not my fault they can't drive wet.
Well, they're crying about it. Also, Thermite, you can't really be.
That's their problem. That's a skill issue.
Yeah, Thermite, you can't be pissed with this. Okay, he's threatening to do things to those who choose the wet.
Okay, just for that, make it wet.
Okay,
I will not allow
voted?
the owner to threaten us.
Yeah, who hasn't voted? Because you're just delaying everything. Okay, there we go. They voted. That's fine. Everyone say Inter's dry. So that's what we're doing. Settings.
Cowards.
To be fair, it probably is in their best interest to go Inter's dry.
I know, but I still think they're cowards.
We can structure qualifying off. Race length. We're going the standard 50% race. Grid editor. Where is the lovely, lovely grid? So, Scythe unfortunately loses his first pole position due to the fact he didn't actually set a lap.
Yeah, so it's...
Can people stop typing in general, please, so I can actually get to the grid? I'm timing out the next person who speaks.
Okay, well, y'all have been warned.
There we go. Right.
Let it be say, ye have been warned.
So that kid Nick on pole, Harris is P2. Then we've got Joe P3, Thermite.
Can we at least get some like proper wet starts in 2024?
P4. It depends if people can drive.
Man, it's not my fault they can't drive
my
wet.
lobby's just died. Great, my lobby's just died. Can someone re-invite me? Someone re-invite me or else you're all banned and this league dies immediately.
Fine.
Exactly. There we go. I'm getting all invites, guys. I'm popular now. Any of you getting invites?
You're not popular. You're not popular. We're just scared of the fact that you were threatening us.
Exactly. Threats work, Thermiter. Pay attention.
Certain threats work.
Right, Joe, you're the lobby leader. Set the settings correctly, or else.
Good threats work. Hey Joe, perfect opportunity to make it a full wet start. Go
I
on.
will be
You know you want to.
looking at the weather and time of day to make sure he does it properly.
Come on, full wet at night. You won't, you coward. Make the final race interesting.
It'll be interesting because it just is. Freedom is about to dominate the field by crashing in turn 1.
Yeah,
right,
true,
Joe.
true.
When you've okay, Joe. Is it a long race? It's 50% race, Joe. Just so you know, not realistic. I hope that's.
If it was realistic, we'd be here for fucking hours.
Is it the correct weather, Joe? Confirm, please, or deny. If you deny, I'm blowing you up, and you're not part of my team anymore.
Damn, you
Okay.
checoed him.
Inter wet, Joe. Inter wet, or just inter wet.
Also, it is a wet finish. Neat.
No, it won't be.
You just said into wet.
Sorry, inter dry. Inter dry. Sorry. No.
Fuck! I should have. No, no,
It's
no.
it's fine. We're 8 minutes into the video.
I shouldn't have
I
made you.
swear.
I shouldn't have made you clarify.
Inter dry
Damn.
wet is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's inter dry.
Yes.
Inter dry.
Do into dry wet. Go on.
No one is going to finish the race at this rate. Bartek just doesn't want the wet, so your point's invalid. Dry into dry. I don't know how I feel about that, but Thermite is probably going to kill someone.
Come on, just do into dry.
Brackets.
Just do into dry. Then.
Thermite can't drive in the wet. Bartek wants dry into.
No. Start wet, go dry.
Oh,
That's
you've been threatened. No, Joe. Joe, I swear to God.
I don't. Joe, I don't know if I would consider that
send us a
threat.
photo that it's.
Thermite, I don't know if I would
Dry.
consider that much of a threat.
Yeah, prove to us that it's into dry, and then we can ready up, and then we can get this race underway. Yippee! For those who are on
AO? What do you mean AO? You know the people I date.
Also, Joe, firstly, I don't. So.
No. I'm talking to Thermite.
Right, I can't actually see what it is, Joe, because the game doesn't allow me to see what custom weather looks like. Which is why I'm asking you to prove.
Yo!
We're not starting in Jeddah. That's a shitty idea.
Yo!
Joe, we're waiting on you, bro. Hurry the hell up. You guys stop suggesting... Bartek, why'd you say hurry, mate? You can always just... If you have to go, just DNF. Simple. Blow yourself up.
Become terrorism.
We are never racing at Vegas here. If we do, that's the day I quit.
Why? Vegas is
terrible.
is
I
funny.
hate it. It's a despicable track with even worse racing.
Oh, it's awful, but it's funny.
It's not even funny. It's just dry. It's as dry as thermite.
Not if you make it rain. Not if you make it rain.
Scythe agrees with me. Thank you, Scythe. You're a good driver.
No. Vegas, like real though. Vegas is awful.
Yes.
I have a weird bile fascination.
Fine. We have to trust Joe that he's done this properly. Do we all trust Joe? Yes, we all.
I trust Joe.
Right, everyone, ready up. Let's get underway.
Joe.
Everyone, press A. Everyone, press A. Continue, whatever it is. RJ. Yep. Come on, Harriet. There we go. Don't forget your setups. Ah! It's an inter setup.
Don't forget.
Don't forget your setups. Yeah. Put a dry setup on for the very end of the race. You're going to be dominant there. Yeah, dry setups.
Be stupid.
Lads. Nah, dry setup.
Be stupid.
Anyway, I'm chilling on Friday. I'm going go-karting. I'm happy. Team Sport Watford, big up.
I'm actively encouraging them to just do awful things.
Yeah, you are. That's why I'm trying to switch it away to Team Sport Watford.
Yes.
We love Team
what? I
Sport.
like a little chaos. I'm a little chaotic.
Bro, what the
man.
hell do you mean? I have 2 Team Sports the same distance away from me. I'm chilling.
I'm chaotic, little man.
I've
I
also
enjoy
got
chaos.
Daytona Karts. What is it? Daytona Karts Milton Keynes. So.
Ooh, fair.
70-mile-an-hour go-karts. Rental karts as well. Which is insane. 70-mile-an-hour rental karts. When's the last time you heard that?
I have no idea.
Exactly. They're unheard of. As if you heard that a week ago, Nick. You're in proper carts, not rental carts. Yeah, not rental carts that go 75. Anyway, the lights are on for the final time in Season 1, and we are... Go, go, go! It's green flag racing!
Huzzah!
Bartek's penalty was exactly served properly, but it's fine, we're not going to reserve it. We're green! And there's a huge dive from Joe on the inside. The Mercedes goes wide of Kian, probably strategically. And there's a spin. It's RJ in the middle of the field. And Nick is collected. The American doesn't lose any places. Thermite is up. Tame trying to get around Scythe. Scythe on Bartek. RJ suffering with that spin. He's going to have to try and recover this till the late part of the race. Nick, we know, has damage versus Kian. The American goes wide. I think that's the American. No, it was Scythe. Scythe running off the track there. Bartek is now up into P4 from that penalty where he started technically last. He was on the back row.
This is chasing after Joe, but he's
sandwiched between
and there's
a
two Ferraris.
From Nick. Nick goes deep trying to overtake Tame ahead of him. That front wing damage is not going to be very kind to him. As we can see it here, everyone is on the intermediate tyres. If you're not, that's a
Thermite just slightly giving some love taps to Harris is behind.
Yep, that's fine. It's Harris. He probably enjoys it. I don't know what he likes. Anyway, as we move on, as we move on into the final corner of the first lap of racing, I feel there's a fight forming towards the back here between the Mercedes and the Williams car. Are we going to see either of these two come to grief in turn one? Maybe, but the fight here is with Bartek and Scythe. Scythe moves to the inside of Bartek. Can he get the overtake done? No, he can't. Bartek is just braver on the brakes, gets around the outside. He blocks off the inside line perfectly. Nick went off the track. Kian went off the track. We're trying to overtake Nick, but he gave the position back to Nick. Now, again, we go down the back straight for the second time of 36. Bartek defending, weaves two ways, but he keeps it clean. He doesn't weave under braking. This fight is still continuing for P4 and some crucial endgame points in the championship. Remember, this is the last chance they have to get points. So can Bartek keep ahead of those around him in the championship? I think Scythe is his direct companion here. They are getting frightfully close. Let me look at the championship standings at the moment. I'll update you as soon as that loads. But we have Thermiter moving up into the P2 place on the track. Bartek is currently fighting with Scythe. They are 2 points away from each other. So Bartek needs to finish ahead of Scythe in order to get this part of the championship. And they're still fighting. Bartek versus Scythe. We see Nick going wide, Kian going wide in the background of the shot. Scythe is going to try the move on Bartek, but don't count out the driver behind him of Tame. Joe still leading. Thermite going even faster. Are we going to see a change for position with the Ferraris in the championship? We know that they're both, no matter what, going to move ahead of their competitor ahead of them. RJ now goes fastest as Nick comes into the pit lane to fix that damage. Are we going to see RJ slowly closing up to the back of the field? But Scythe has the move. He's forced off by Bartek. It's close. Bartek, I think, is playing a bit dirty there. And Scythe is forced off the track. Very deep.
He goes wide.
He didn't have a choice. Bartek was pinning him to the wall. This is going to be the opportunity that Tame has to try and overtake Bartek now. But the fight at the back...
I was just going to say, careful there, Bartek. We are still keeping an eye on you.
You don't forget, Bartek, you don't want to be too dirty or else you're going to face another race ban, and you don't want that entering round one, do you? Anyway, there's a new fight on the track. Kian versus RJ, two very skilled drivers. They're both pushing each other to the limit and over the limit. As we see RJ slightly forced wide, he's going for the inside move. He gets a very lovely overtake done. Anyway, back to the fight. Tame, Bartek, Scythe. All of these three drivers having contact with Bartek. Bartek making contact with the two drivers behind him in qualifying, ultimately resulting from him starting P8. As there's a yellow flag, it's Nick coming to grief while fighting with... it's RJ coming to grief with Nick. RJ struggling to get it turned around. He's going to take a moment here to get himself properly started, but the fight is still on. Bartek butchered his entry towards the back straight, so we're going to see an overtake here. Are we? He's forced wide. They're almost three wide.
3x3.
Big tap on the wheel there from Bartek on Scythe and Tame. Scythe just getting ahead of Tame. I think Tame is just going to sit back and hope that Bartek comes to grief somewhere ahead of him, so that way he can hopefully get a clean pass so he can fight Scythe. Tame, of course, doesn't need any more points in the championship, but I'm sure he wants to try to get back on the podium to get a near 100% podium to race entry result. As it stands, he's entered, this is his 10th race he's entered, and he's got podiums in 8 of them, and he's completed 9 of them, which are some very, very impressive statistics by anyone's standards. He has the most podiums in the league of anyone at this moment in time. He's the most decorated driver, but he's going into retirement at the end of the season. He feels that he's done racing here, as we see Scythe trying to go around the outside of Bartek. Bartek forcing him off the track.
A very short career of 1 season.
Except it could be all that makes the matters. We're still keeping the game on 23, so we'll have a couple casual races on there, I believe, for the second category, the junior, if you will, the lower tier will be on 23 for now until everyone ultimately gets F1 24. We see Scythe there still trying to get ahead of Bartek. He's got the car behind of Tame. Tame, I think, is just going to stay behind him for now. I think he knows there's no way past unless Scythe gives him the position, which I think he's done. So Scythe working with Tame in order to try to get ahead of him, try to get ahead of Bartek. So I think they both know what the ultimate goal is here, and that is to try to clear Bartek in order to try and get up the grid. Because as it stands, Bartek is really the bottle that's stopping Tame from getting up to the front, as well as Scythe. I feel if Scythe has a chance, he could be on the podium here today. Don't count him out of this fight.
Not counting anyone out.
Exactly, you don't want to. Even the Americans in the field today are having a good race, up in P3 at the moment. I say that because every other race they've done, they've either retired or done terribly. So, not anything racist. I'm not racist.
You know, don't oversell them.
Anyway, Tame goes off the track. He's gonna head
Don't oversell them, not yet.
Forced him wide. If Bartek went off, I'm sure that would have been investigated immediately on the stream. Don't know what forced means, but he did that apparently. So I think they're both taking it in turns to attack Bartek. Tame, then Scythe, then Tame again. But Tame is going to try down the inside. Bartek moves over to cover them off. Bartek makes a mistake though. Tame is on the inside. They bang wheels. They bang wheels again. Bartek goes off the track. He hits again. They're 3 wide.
Hello?
And Scythe is forced off. We're still here. Can you hear me? Hello? Bartek goes down the inside of Tame. We're back. I'm still
you cut out. You cut out on. Yeah. You
it's
cut out.
It's fine on the stream, I assure you.
Started talking over yourself.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
it's not
cool.
on the stream.
As long as
Bartek still
fine.
fighting with Tame. These guys have been banging wheels as so many times this lap, but I think Tame has got it. Scythe had to go wide after trying to go 3 wide with Tame and Bartek. As Joe retakes the lead from Thermiter, I think they're both taking it in turns to see who leads. We're going to be trying to watch Scythe here in his attempts to try and get past Bartek. In the dry, of course, there'd be DRS overtakes, and they'd be going very fast through this. But Scythe doesn't eye up the move. He might be trying to play the dummy. Does it pay off? It might have done, because Bartek almost loses the rear. Scythe to the inside forces Bartek out of the way, as he is entitled to here, because Bartek's been doing the same to him. Thermiter retakes the lead of the race. As we go down the back straight, we have a lovely onboard shot as we see him trying to get ahead of Bartek here. Scythe looking for his 3rd career podium in the league. Bartek trying to look for another top 5 finish, only with 1 in a full race, and that was round 1 of the season. So Bartek looking for a very decent points haul here today in order to keep ahead of Scythe. Don't forget, these two are still fighting for their place in the championship. They're fighting for 9th, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about it, these 2 drivers are fighting for their careers, basically. After all, they're going down to Tier 2. I don't think Scythe has the game. I may be wrong about that, but Bartek's definitely being dulled down to Tier 2, as he's not bothered to buy F1 24. As Joe must have made a mistake there. He's been overtaken by 2 cars. Joe's gone off the track and is now down in 4th. The American, the Freedom Trooper, is up in P2. Tame in P3. Apparently, I think I may have disconnected from the server, or the host is disconnected or something. Someone do correct me there. Game crashed for
I haven't
Joe.
noticed any.
Joe's game has crashed, so he will be
That is
re-invited. But the
unfortunate.
fight here right now is between Bartek and
EA
Scythe.
moment.
Scythe gets forced off by Bartek. Kian's also disconnected. He'll be re-invited. Don't worry, you two will
Truly an EA moment of all time.
Oh, definitely. Bartek forces drivers off the track yet again. I'm sure if he keeps doing it, something will come of it. But
Yeah, if he keeps doing it, I'm going to hit him with a hammer.
Kian, you've been re-invited. And we're going to wait for Joe to get back online.
Is very much a stop it.
Oh, and Bartek goes hugely wide and almost loses the car. As I invited Kian back to the race. So we're going to keep on this fight because the fights up ahead are not as close as this. Joe, tell me when you've got the game reopen or else your car's going to dwindle at the back of the field. Because I don't think you turn up the AI. It's opening now. Okay, tell me when you're fully loaded in and then I'll invite you because I can't invite you till you're in the game properly. Anyway, we've got Bartek versus Scythe here. Now for one higher up place, and they're going to have a very, very, very fast Joe behind them. Joe, it doesn't say you're online. Check your internet. Anyway, we've got we've got a mediocre driver versus a mediocre driver here. I'm not going to say who's who because I don't want to offend him. Kian, you should have one already, bud. Don't worry about it. I'll invite you now. So in the background, you're going to see Scythe hopefully getting ahead of Bartek here. Kian, TTV race, you've got an invite. Oh, and that is going to be a race disqualification from Bartek for the next race.
He's already DNF'd, but yeah, for the next race.
I think
that
because
was
two people have disconnected and we've just had Bartek deliberately take someone out, that should be a restart in my opinion. Because we've had two people disconnect and then Bartek's just taken him and Scythe out.
Yeah, but the disconnects can rejoin.
The disconnects can rejoin, but they keep disconnecting. All I'd say is that it would be a restart from now, but in this grid position, so everyone would keep their current positions. And it would be a 35% instead of a 50%. Guys, quickly, please.
Yeah.
Bartek, that was your fault. I came out.
That was your fault, Bartek.
You slammed him into it.
That was you did that purposely.
I want your choice on this. Can we restart or no? No, Joe, it's fine. We've got this lobby here. I don't know who's the host, but Joe, you've been invited. Right, Thermiter, do you want to restart or not, please? There we go, he's typing. Yeah, right, everyone restart, please. DNF. We've got the order.
Thank you, Bartek.
We'll restart a lap before this crash. We'll restart a lap before this crash. So, oh, sorry, the lap that had just passed before this restart crash. So we're restarting at the start. We'll restart in lap 8, so the grid position I shall post in general. There were no changes in position when this happened, so if it was, I'm sorry. Please bring it up with someone else, not me. Whoever the lobby host is now, I pray it's someone who understands what to do with the game. Right, that's the grid we're going to be going by, but Bartek will be starting last, so put Bartek at the back. Because, yeah. Right, guys, just spam A, please. Spam A. That's the new grid order. Bartek, why'd you leave? I didn't say leave, I said DNF. Nick, I said it's from the closest opportunity to lap 9, not after lap 9. So this is before. This is before the restart was called, so this is the lap before. Did you? This screenshot was on lap 8. Right, Thermite, you know what to do. Clip what? Depends when the overtake was. Bartek, you were out anyway. Why did you retire? What? Bartek, you're starting last. Also, yeah, Joe, you're getting an invite.
You'll get a second race ban if you cause more incidents.
Because Bartek, you're starting from the back. So, I think ultimately this time it's Thermite's choice because he's now the host. Was it before lap 9? Right before the safety car? Are we talking on lap 9? Was it lap 9, Harris, that happened? That okay, then that was before the red flag. That was after the red flag. Grid stays chill then. Thermometer, it's there. Just keep going back up to it. No, it's fine. Don't worry. Bartek wants dry to winters. Bartek, you're in no position to speak about this because you've just
you've lost your voting privileges.
Okay, Thermiter, I know you may not want to do this, but people are saying Inters to dry to finish the race with. So. That is true. Just do like a half and half wet to dry if you can. If not, then I don't know. It is 35%. You guys have had your wet portion and Bartek can't deal with it, so we've got no fun, but ultimately, Thermiter is your position because you are the owner, so. Also, Scythe. Oh, I've disconnected, but I do have invites, so it's fine. Yeah, Scythe, if it wasn't for the disconnections, we probably wouldn't have restarted, so I'm going to be real with that. But we had 2 people out of the game, and then 2 people as well, which had just been taken out unfairly, or one of them was taken out unfairly. So, who's this random geezer? Who's invited me? That session does not exist. Right. Right, is everyone do not go, do not ready up, do not ready up. Do not ready up yet, do not ready up. Don't forget your setups, ready up now. Don't forget your setups, ready up now. So as it stands, Tame, if he gets any points this race, yeah. If he gets P8 or higher, will become the first ever driver in this league to get 200 points. Which is a crazy statistic for you. So if he finishes 8th and higher, he gets 200 points plus. If he somehow retires or finishes P9, then he's... Yeah, we're going to do the ALR awards at some point soon as well. Yeah, Tame, finish the race not in last place. That's your goal right now. Yeah, Tame, if you somehow bottle this, you'll be the driver known as the man who almost got 200 points in the first season. So, Thermiter did do Inters to dry, which is good for him. People are saying AlphaTauri on cards for a podium, which that could be something. AlphaTauri have collected 2 podiums throughout the season so far. 1 in the sprint, 1 in a main race. So they're already doing quite well for themselves. So through all the hardships, throughout everything this season, this will be confirmed.
This finally is.
This
really is
the last
final
restart.
Testimony.
This is the last restart. We're not restarting again from now. We are. Go, 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 go for the final time today.
Drive,
it's a
people,
tentative
drive.
start from everyone on the grid because it is still intermediates weather, but we're going to see it. The American, for the first time, we have an American take the lead of a race, even if it is just for a corner or 2. There's an American leading, and there's a crash. Scythe and Tame have come to grief on the inside of turn 1. It's disaster already for Scythe. Joe's been involved in his own incident in the midfield.
Oh man.
Bartek as well has has gained places but dropped places. RJ was spun. Scythe and Tame came together. Everyone's at a snail's pace, but confirmed, America is leading the race. For the first time in ALR history, we have an American leading the race. I'm pretty sure the last time we had a non-English driver lead the race was briefly in Mexico when Ace led the race. And then we had to go back to Monza where we had I think what's his name? Crushed led a lap. So
yes.
There's your fun little statistic for today. He becomes the third non-British driver in 4 races to lead a lap of racing.
Don't you love numbers?
And the virtual safety car will be over here. Very unfortunate for Scythe, as he is currently missing his entire front wing. So he'll have to pit to replace that. The one advantage would be if there is a safety car later, he will be able to, you know, hopefully
make full use of it.
Bartek, though, as we see, fastest lap for the man in the lead of the race. First American to get the fastest lap of the race as well. All sorts of records. And there's been a moment through turn 1 for one of the drivers. As Bartek goes wide, RJ goes wide as well. There's all 3 of them all together here. So Bartek is trying to keep Tame behind him in best interest. Keep his championship fights for 10th alive. 9th, alive. And Joe is fighting with Nick. Nick for his first points. And there's been a big crash. RJ has driven into the back of Bartek. That I don't think was Bartek's fault there. I think that was just RJ having an issue.
Indeed.
Ace also did lead a lap in Monza. Thank you to Joe for telling me that statistic there. Scythe is now ready out the pit lane, but RJ has wing damage now, so the man who did have a very stupendous qualifying now with a bit of wing damage stuck behind Bartek, and we're going to see a second lap led by the States. It's not a full safety car, but it's a virtual safety car. Do keep that in mind, Harris. Don't get full of yourself too much.
Don't allow pride.
We're almost out for the final time. Kian's also now missing his front wing, so there's another crash I missed there under the safety car. As Scythe gets a penalty for speeding on a virtual safety car, but the American here for the home glory has just been overtaken by Joe, the young hotshot with the young ambitions in this league. Kian now gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. RJ's in as well, so multiple drivers with penalties. We watch on, 4 drivers fighting for the total lead of the race. Tame keeps ahead of Bartek for now. Are we going to see a huge crash here from someone? All drivers still in the race despite the amount of safety cars and virtual safety cars we've had. He's run wide, the American, the maestro from the west. Sorry, the west. The west.
I feel like, I don't know, something was wrong with that statement.
It was. That sounded slightly racist there, but I assure you.
Yes, it did. That was.
Anyway, we have Joe going wide, losing 3 places almost. I say 3, he wasn't in the lead. As we see Thermiter trying to dive for the lead, he forces the American driver off the track. His teammate gets through. Nick is now fighting with him. That won't be investigated. That was just a bit hard racing, and we've got a very big off from Joe trying to rejoin the track safely. So it's currently Thermiter, Joe, Nick, and then Harris, followed by Tame up the rear. And yes, that did sound weird, I'm fully aware. Anyway, Thermiter takes the fastest racing lap so far. We're going side by side. The American driver in his first proper race. I say proper race. I think he may have entered one earlier on in the season, but didn't cut.
Sure, it is for losers.
No, he hasn't. This is his first official race this season. The Ferrari's going wheel to wheel. It's reminiscent of 2019. They managed to get through the corner safely. Oh, and there's contact. I see for a brief second. It was then an off moment. Bartek coming into the pit lane. I think he suffered damage from something. Probably self-inflicted, no doubt, with Bartek. But hey-ho. We've now got Tame versus the other AlphaTauri. We saw it before the red flag. But we're going to see it here again. Tame versus an AlphaTauri. This time, though, it is for P4. It's the same fight all over again, just different drivers. So Bartek comes out just ahead of RJ. Those who are pitted will have fresh intermediate tyres. And that will mean they have the ability to push a bit harder before the wets become useless, or the dry tires, sorry, become absolutely useless.
But yeah, it's interesting that it's getting there.
As we see Scythe try to defend from Tame behind him. Tame on the outside line. Is he going to be able to get the move done? I'm not sure. He doesn't get the move done.
I'm not sure if he's going
Yeah,
to get the move down.
I don't know, but yeah.
Welcome to my radio station.
I don't know why I did that. Yeah. Anyway, Tame looking to eye up a move.
The year is
Harris.
1922.
Enough of that, or else I'm leaving, and then I'm just doing solo commentary by myself. Yeah, thought so. Shut up.
Sure.
Anyway.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I'm not going to, because then I'd have to step out of the stream. I'd have to stop streaming this absolute brilliant battle. And we've had a almost change for P2 there. Nick is fighting here with Joe to try and get into the P2 spot. Joe has to let him through, but he has the inside line. Is he going to be able to get the move done? Joe keeps his position for now. A bit of argy-bargy, bit of nose to tail. But for now, Joe is in P3. And we see here, we've got Harris versus Thermiter. Not Thermiter. Tame, but Harris is wide, so he's losing the P4. But in P5, if he finishes here, he may still do. That would be a very good race. Very good debut race. But the back now is forming at the runt end of the field. Bartek, RJ, and Scythe. Bartek and Scythe already have come together this race. Completely Bartek's fault. That's why he did start this from the back instead of his rightful P4. Bartek dives down the inside of RJ, using a bit more racing space this time rather than forcing another driver off. That video.
Clean racing, indeed.
Yeah,
How strange.
we see Scythe. Oh, and there's a crash. 2 cars round. RJ lost it. Scythe goes into the back of him and loses his end plate. These drivers are now at risk of getting lapped if they pit, and if they pit, it could see their races over. And what I will say is, if drivers do get lapped, please, if there is a safety car, let them unlap, for goodness sakes. If the game
and remember, no side by side while under the safety car.
No doing of a Verstappen, please. That just ruins it. Anyway, we've got
That's no fun.
the battle for P2. There's a big touch as we tab onto it. Kian, Nick, Joe, and Tame now in this battle. The three of them locked into all-out warfare here. This isn't a battle anymore. This is a straight war for position here. They all want this P2. We want to see the man with... I need to calculate this. And there's a big wide moment from Tame. The man who is looking for a 90% career podium rate at this moment in time.
Honestly, if he can achieve that before he retires, yeah, it's a good place to end.
It would be an 80% because he's done 10 races, but
that'd still be good.
That will be a record for the history books, I'm sure. He's also the man that currently holds the most wins in his season with 3.
Indeed.
There are 2 drivers.
I love numbers.
Yeah, there are 3 drivers currently tied with 2. Those being Gaggles, Polius, and Kev. The latter 2 of the 3 have decided that they're not racing, and the Inters and the DRS is enabled, we've just seen. So the track is drying up. Scythe has taken this opportunity to pit for the dries.
It's happening.
It's the crossover point. If you don't pit now, I think you'd be losing out greatly. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Scythe onto the hards.
This is the point in time. You have to time.
Joe is staying out for the glory of the Ferraris. Nick gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. If there is a safety car, I'm sure those guys will be in for a set of mediums. But as it stands, Scythe will not be lapped because Joe has to pit this lap or else his Inters are going to die out completely. So there's no point in Joe trying to fight this. He might as well let Scythe bomb it into the lead, as these Inters are going to wear themselves out if he tries to push.
Indeed.
As Kian and Nick now, both with penalties for speeding in the pit lane. If they don't serve these penalties, they will face those after the race. We unless
we
it's
will
a
be
terrible,
merciless.
Yeah, unless there's like proof that you actually did attempt to slow down and you're like 1 mile an hour over, we're not removing them. All penalties are final unless pit lane penalties and you're like 1 mile an hour over. That's the only way we're letting you.
Yeah.
Or let it go. Who I think, yes, gets a penalty for corner cutting. He's done that way too much. Has Ferrari just blundered a possible 1-2? It is on the cards that they've done so, and this will promote Tame back up to have a 90% podium rate in his career. And Joe gets another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So no matter what, if Joe wants to finish this race with just a 3-second penalty, he has to pit again. And it's going to be a set of new inters for Joe. It's disaster for Ferrari.
Ferrari strategy strikes again.
He said he was 2 miles per hour over. That won't matter. He'll have to pit again. And onto a new set of dries. Ferrari have absolutely messed this up. They knew the rain was going to dry out at some point. They still think it's wet on track. Joe is done for the day, he's saying in general. Not his exact words, but we're keeping it clean for you because we tried to keep it clean. So expect to see Joe falling to the back of the field here. Nick now promoted up into P2. Thermiter in P3. Tame in P3. Thermiter leading. Could we see another second race win this season? Either way, if Joe wins, that would be 2 winners, 2 race winners. If Thermiter wins, then yeah. Currently, 3 of the 6 race winners this season are racing. One of them a multiple-time winner. The other 2 won the last 2 races back to back. Not the same driver, but the same team. Hopefully next season we'll see it here. Nick on the medium, so he's braving it there on the mediums. Same with Kian. It could be an absolute godsend for the medium. For now, for me, Joe just goes straight into the pit lane entry barrier instead of yeah. The match office has issued a yellow weather warning overnight for thunder and lightning, and as temperatures are expected to plunge in this week. So do keep mindful of that, everyone in the UK. Just your brief weather update.
The temperature.
We're having another mad snap of temperature. Anyway, we could see it here. Thermiter versus Kian. That's Joe versus Kian is going to be the next battle on track. If Joe can get out ahead of TTV Kian. I don't think he will. It's going to be close on pit exit. But I think he's done it. He has kept himself ahead of Bartek, though. That is the key thing at this point in time. So we should be seeing soon a DRS battle unfolding somewhere between someone or someone else. So we'll see what that comes to in the end. We're currently watching the Man of the Americas. I see the Man of the Americas. It's the American man, the one and only Harris. Can he break? Can he break the curse that all American drivers so far have 100% retirement rates? Will he be able to break this curse? Will he be able to become the first? There's a yellow in the middle sector, and it's Scythe. I think he's just had a spin and fallen to the back. So, unfortunate for him. At one point, he was in contention to win the race. But as it stands, he has to try and overtake Bartek again in order for this to happen. He needs to bide his time, he needs to get the move, wait for the overtake. Moves to the outside, Bartek tries to cover him off. He has the DRS. Bartek is going to try defend this. He goes to the inside. Bartek goes on the grass. No grip out there, Sonny boy. That's not where you want to be. Scythe takes the position. Was he behind on the DRS? No, he wasn't. That's going to go to Bartek, but I don't think Bartek's going to be able to get through. As no! The American is out of the race. The curse strikes again. America are back to their 100% DNFs. The one shot they had at a driver to get them out.
What a shame. What a shame.
Every single American driver coming to grief with a barrier. He's calling controller disconnection. This may have just saved some people's races. Races. So the final race of the season ends terribly for Harris. We're not going to see him in a good mood later this season, I don't think. Anyway, we see it here. Is anyone... Nick, somehow there, got ahead of Thermiter in all of that kerfuffle while we were watching the fight for the back of the field. But we do see Joe coming into the pit lane. What's it going to be? It's a new set of mediums. Joe thinking minimal risk in pitting now for a new set of mediums. Could we see RJ come in? Yes, we do. We see RJ in. Are we going to see Scythe or Bartek in? No, we're not. Neither of them go in. So RJ has the task on a new set of tires. I don't know what yet. To try and work his way back ahead of those ahead of him. He's choosing a new set of mediums. Everyone is banking on a very late race safety car. The top two are in, and Nick gets...
I mean, there's the safety car.
Yeah, Nick gets
middle of the race.
Another warning or thing for, yeah, going too fast. Simply not his day. As we see it here, we have the safety car out, a mid-race safety car for the crash of Harris, marking America's... Let me pull up this statistic. Marking America's third DNF for so America still with their 100% drivers retirement rate. So that is bad for them, but terrible for those Americans watching on in the stands. It happens to the best of us. It's happened to Bartek before. He was running quite highly and then his controller disconnects. As Nick has been disqualified for some reason. Again, we're not restarting. Nick disconnected and then it disqualified him for some reason. So
oh, okay. Yeah, well, nothing we can do about that.
We're not restarting anyway, we did say.
Well, yeah, well, I'm saying there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, Nick, don't worry, we're changing to 24 for next season anyway, for the Tier 1, which you will be obviously driving in when you find a team.
I mean, hey, if you're getting more like co-commentators and hosts and such, can I get a rotation?
Huh. We may get a new pit reporter next season, but we're not going to say who that is until next season, as that's a surprise. Safety car is not in this lap, so all the drivers on the track still able to catch up.
To you in the pit.
Now, the only way that a certain Tame Super Jazz cannot score 200 points is if he retires. Or gets disqualified for having a right car by 5 kilos.
Mr. Consistent.
Just to say, Prema have won the last 5 of the last 6 F2 championships. Just so you're aware in real life. So take of this information as you will. So the safety car is out. Kian, I'm being told over the radio, has a drive-through. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm not the man who does that. You want to ping Gaggles for that, not me. He's the one doing all the media stuff. I'm just editing. We get information. Harris will be racing in Tier 2 next season. Someone forgot to take it out of broadcast mode. Cough, cough. Thermiter forgot to take it out of broadcast mode. You guys shouldn't be too pressed. Don't worry. It's fine. These mistakes happen. It's still Season 1. We're allowed to make stupid mistakes like this. It's your fault you didn't check it, Thermiter. That's how I'm going by this. Because if you're blaming him, you may as well blame me, because I set up the lobby for qualifying, but then I disconnected midway through, so can't really blame me for that when I disconnected. So Scythe is in with a shot of another podium. Nick will have to serve the drive-through penalty next lap. He may get disqualified. We hope not. I'm stuck on the onboard of Joe. This is the onboard I wanted. Anyway, safety car is in. We're going to see Thermiter trying to hold it for as long as he can. Remember, no going side by side with the car ahead, lads. No going side by side with the car ahead. Anyway, we are go again. We're restarting. We've got 10 to go in this race. We see a very wide moment there from a certain Scythe trying to overtake Kian, who has that drive-through penalty, so he will be out the way in due time. I'm sure if we see it here, I have disconnected from the VC. I should have checked that before I restarted, but just quickly we'll rejoin. We'll just quickly rejoin the Discord, restart the Discord. Pray nothing bad happens while we're gone. We're back. Hello, hello. Imperial, are we good? I don't think we're good, but Scythe is people overtaking people, losing positions, all sorts is happening. That's not important until we properly get back in the VC, so that's better. We're back. Imperial, you good, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Right. So we see it. Kian here.
Yeah,
has
something.
Kian has a drive-through penalty, so he will have to come in this lap, or else he will get a disqualification. As Bartek spins at the
man
back
needs
of the
to
field.
do his drive-through.
RJ, I think, may have been involved, and there's a moment there we see, oh my goodness, almost a huge crash. Tame forced off. Nick involved, not Nick, it's Kian involved with a moment with Joe almost coming to grief. Joe spinning. That would have probably been something to look forward to while we were panned on it. This has now helped Scythe get back up into the fight for P5. P3 even. Tame gets down the inside of Joe after making a costly mistake. We're going to see Kian come in this lap no matter what. It's what we love. No dive bombing here apart from turn 1 and maybe the 90-degree corners. And that's it. You can't dive bomb. You go down the inside or around the outside and you have to fight for your position. We should see Kian come into the pit lane now, which we do for that drive-through penalty. And he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, of course. So DRS is enabled this lap, as we're now 2 laps out from safety car. So we should see a few easier overtakes coming here now. I think Kian may be done for the day with that penalty, because I'm pretty sure he's all but last here. We could see something drastic happen in the top, the front of the field, or we could see an issue from Bartek and Kian as Kian tries to overtake Bartek. I think Kian will take this one on the chin and serve the penalty after the race, if not on the last lap, or second to last lap. Anyway, as it stands, co-commentator is briefly done. The stage of the Discord is death, but I can cover us the way here. We've got Joe being chased by Thermiter. Being chased by Tame even. I don't know why I got the two mixed up. I shouldn't have this issue next season, I hope. It's a very clean move to the leader, to the P2 we go. As we see Kian getting out of Bartek, and they're both out. They've both crashed. And I'm surprised we've not got a safety car. Not sure what happened there. But something of absolute strange monstrosity just happened. I've just seen that happen in front of me. We've lost the co-commentator, sadly. Kian, Bartek, tell me what happened there, because I did not see that properly. Kian, did you clip it? Because we can't really do much unless you clip it, bud. Kian, we can't do anything unless we clip it. Anyway, we've got Tame versus Joe here. Joe with the penalty, and we see Scythe versus RJ now. With this penalty at the moment, Scythe would be on the podium yet again. Kian, if you could send the full race replay to me later when the stream's over, we'll have a look at it, please. That goes to anyone who'd like a report. Download the full race replay or something, or whatever. Leave the lobby if you don't want to report anything. Don't bother trying to skip. Because I have no idea what happened. I just see two cars very close together, and then DNF. Double DNF from the both of them, so... The race is now falling down into its quiet phase of the race. So expect nothing much to be happening unless we see one or two people coming for a fresh set of soft tyres to see them through to the end. We've got 6 to go. Scythe may be in for this opportunity. We could see him push. I know he's quite a fast driver on his day, not yet. 14 up old hard. He's not doing himself any good here. He's only losing time. One who I think could gain from a fresh set of soft is the man in third of Joe, because he has that penalty, so he would lose the place regardless of position if RJ can gain up towards the back of him. What are we going to see? Ferrari do the clean sweep. Are we going to see Ferrari make it 3 wins out of 3 for the end of the season? We see Bartek involved in something. Again, he's already under controversy and a race ban for something else. But if it's any worse, I don't think his career will continue in this league. Anyway, we see it here. Some drivers and a lot less ERS than others. Anyway, we see it here. Nothing much really going on in the front group. As it stands, RJ would claim his first podium of the season at this point in time. They're riding backwards on board with Tame. Tame looking for his 4th win, a record-making win, of course. But the records would stop. Could we see Thermiter versus Gaggles next season as the championship fight, with people like RJ and Nick getting involved? As we know, Tame is retiring at the end of this season. If he can win this race, I'm sure Thermiter wouldn't mind too much. Because either way, Thermiter, with this position in the podium places, he will be moving up into P3 in the standings ahead of the late Polius driver. He's not dead, he's just quit the league. Any podium position, and Thermiter...
Aha! I figured out I can make myself join.
There you go, congrats. Yeah, we were just covering the fact that
Whoa.
Thermiter needs to finish anywhere on the podium, and he gets P3 in the standings.
Yes,
Tate,
indeed.
of course, retiring after this race. Hopefully he wants to end it on a high. Maybe Thermiter could have a kindness of heart in a driver's...
I missed I think 2 DNFs. What happened?
I don't know, but Kian's blaming Bartek and Bartek's blaming Kian, and it was on it was near the pit lane entry, and I didn't see what happened because I was trying to get you back in the call.
Yeah, I was trying to get back in. It was being weird. and then like I was in and I was waiting to be accepted up, and then I started tinkering with it and I realized I could just invite myself up.
I see. Oh.
Oh? You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an explanation. But we do now have a fight for the lead. Thermiter versus Tame on the second to last lap now. Thermiter just sitting behind him for now. He knows he's got one more lap. If you could just quickly check general, we're getting FIA reports about this crash between Bartek and Kian. Thank you. Nice emoji.
Oh!
Oh, we've got a clip. Almighty clip. Clip invalidates all here. But we've now got the fight for the lead on the
Clip.
We're going to have.
Clip.
This is
Clip.
the second to last lap of the final race in the season. It's going to be close.
Incident report.
Is it there? If it's in general, I don't mind because they will discuss it in general, so I won't be too pressed about that. Tame, I think, is just trying to buy his time here in order to get the move done on Thermiter for the win. Now, I believe this will be the third time these two drivers have been on the podium. So these two greats, we see him try.
As Thermiter dips below Tame, so it's the last lap.
For the DRS. Thermiter's ahead, and he's got the DRS, I believe. Wow.
Hell yeah!
But Tame has the overspeed and the use of ERS to his advantage. This is now Tame's ahead. He moved over to cover off. It's going to be very close on the last straightaway with DRS. Can Tame just hold on?
I think Tame has this.
It's been confirmed in stranger ways before with penalties and such. At this moment, RJ's looking at a first career podium, which would bump him well up the order, I feel. Bump him up ahead of Dottie, maybe even ahead of Bartek and Scythe, or get near him. Points, but no matter what now, Scythe will get ahead of Bartek in the championship if he finishes.
As we're rounding the last few corners.
The final curve. Thermiter too far behind. Tame ends his career on a high. He retires by winning the Brazilian Grand Prix. Thermiter second. Joe in
half a second behind
Tame. Finishes in third place to collect his first career podium. And Scythe moves up into 9th in the standings. Maybe even 8th in the standings, depending on how many points he gets here. If it's 10,
If
it's 10, that may put him in 8th. It's going to be close. It may put him 1 point behind Kev. Thermiter, why are you so pressed? That was the brilliant fight. Anyway, it's the end of the race. The end of a season, a thrilling season that's seen drivers breach 200 points. Drivers win races from some of the best strategies we've seen. Gaggle's team gets a podium in the last race. We see it here for the final time, for the final dance of Season 1. We'll be back at some point in the future for the prize giving. Scythe is happy with his career, getting P9. There's your race winner, Tame Super Jazz. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back at some point soon. I'm sure you guys are going to miss this